Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to our live broadcast for Wednesday, April 8th. I have a few updates for you this afternoon. After my comments, you'll hear from Sherry Grady, and then you'll hear from Patti Pickering, who will be assisted by Melissa Markey from Wellness, and then we'll have a pastoral care update and prayer from Vanessa Perry. Little update on the situation in the Commonwealth of Virginia. As of this morning, the update we got from the Virginia Department of Health is that overnight we had about 2,000 new tests to bring the number to 30,600, a little more than that. The total cases of positive COVID-19 statewide went up by 312. We had 60 people hospitalized in the last 24 hours with 12 new deaths, bringing the total number of deaths in the Commonwealth to 75. We continue to watch the situation locally. We're certainly seeing cases mostly amongst staff in other facilities around Richmond and around the state of Virginia. But that's been sort of a steady thing. Every day there's a new report or two or three of different cases popping up in communities around the Commonwealth. Before I go any further, I want to apologize again for the technical difficulties from yesterday. The team here, Eric and the team, was working diligently to try to correct the problem before we went live, but they weren't able to get the sound to actually transfer over before we went. So we went ahead and filmed it anyway, knowing that, knowing we'd be able to bring it up later with sound for you to watch it at a later time. And I guess the good news is we certainly heard from a number of you that you are watching and that you missed being able to hear it live. And for that, we're grateful that we know you're out there and you're actually paying attention. And again, we apologize. The technical difficulties, we may have those from time to time, and we'll do our best to try to make sure that we're ready when we go live. We got a quick update on our second COVID-19 positive resident. We've heard today that her situation is stable. She's not in the ICU, but just in the general medical population, and she is making slow recovery. It sounds like her recovery will be slow, but she's doing okay, and we're hoping that that she's turning the corner for the better, which is what we heard a little bit of today. So we're hopeful that that her recovery will continue to move her towards coming back here sometime soon. Last thing I want to talk to you about is the mail. We are happy to report that the outgoing mail, both in the outdoor U.S. Postal Blue large boxes and the internal outgoing boxes, have been retrieved and sent off to the U.S. Postal Service. And I want to offer a big thank you to Marty Kane in the accounting office, who's worked through this whole process with the Postal Service to make sure that we get mail picked up every day and then distributed here on campus, and then we get the outgoing mail picked up by the Postal Service. You may continue to place your outgoing mail in the blue boxes or in the baskets at the tower or center desk for staff to take out and place in the blue boxes. We will continue to work to try to get our postal delivery turned back on by the U.S. Postal Service, but we know from our first experience, it wasn't until we actually had, until our first patient was recovered before they would come back and actually put the mail in your box. So we'll be managing that on a daily basis between now and then. That's all for me. I'm going to step away. I'm going to invite Sherry Grady to come up and share with you some information I think you'll find exciting.
Good afternoon, residents and viewers. Like John said, I do have some exciting information to share with you today. It's planting season. So with that being said, we have devised a way for you to be able to order from Azalea. Those residents wishing to order seeds from Azalea Gardens will be able to do so through a one-time ordering process. We will be putting ordering sheets into your mailboxes this week. They are double-sided. One side has bedding plants, and the other side is veggies and herbs. Please fill out the order form and return it to one of 3 collection boxes. The collection boxes will be located, one in the tower lobby, one will be in the garden main level lobby, and one will be at the center lobby. All orders must be received by Tuesday, April 14th. Your house account will be charged on the 15th, and Kathleen will place the orders on Friday the 17th. Your order forms will have the prices and tax already included on them. Tower and Garden residents will be able to pick up their orders at the pergola near the Tower Resident Gardens on Wednesday, April 22nd, beginning at 1 p.m. Courtyard and Homes on the Greens residents will be able to pick up their orders at the East Lot on Friday, April 24th, beginning at 1 p.m. Please understand that all orders are final. There will be no refunds or chargebacks to your account. Azalea Gardens also reserves the right to make same price substitutions on your order if an item is unavailable. Please also keep in mind that any planting you decide to do must be done on your own because our grounds crew will not be able to assist you. All questions, comments, or concerns need to be directed to me at extension 5110. Please do not call resident services or accounting for anything regarding the Azalea Gardens planting project or program, as they will not be able to assist you or answer your questions. And they will just redirect you to me. So please call me at 5110, again, if you have any questions or concerns about the Azalea Garden seed ordering program. Residents who are using the lower level, we would like to ask you to please refrain from using that level, as there are many employees and contractors walking around on that level, which increases your chance for exposure. Please use the main level for all of your travel throughout the building, and also avoid going to the lower level mailroom. If you have copying or shipping needs, please call the front desk by dialing 0 for further instructions. And lastly, we are going to be posting a Spiritual Center video update, number 10, on TV 970 soon, so be on the lookout for that. Next up is the Wellness Update with Patti and Melissa. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you all doing? I'm very happy to be with you today because nothing in these past few weeks has felt normal. I've been a grocery shopper, I've delivered mail, I've been a screener at the gatehouse, and also checking temperatures at CDC and Avalon. But today, I get to do what I love most. I get to get you up and get you moving. So I'm going to have Melissa come up with me. She's going to demonstrate some of our exercises from the seated version, and I'll be doing the standing. And I need you to know just a few guidelines. Participate at your ability and your level of comfort. The exercises, of course, can be done seated or standing. And most of these exercises are considered low to moderate intensity. So there's no need to push really hard. As we review our CV19 cardiovascular challenge exercises today, I'll be demonstrating all of the exercises for this week, Monday through Friday. I'll give you some options of how to modify them, and then also the proper way to count the exercises. I'll be doing a shorter number of repetitions instead of the challenge goal, which is 19 repetitions or 19 seconds per exercise. So we're going to begin with, I'm going to just move this a little to the side. Thank you. All right, so we're going to begin with Monday, which is exercise marching in place. So you want a nice march in place, set a pace that you're comfortable with, bring the knee up. It's going to get your blood flowing, and it's going to get your breath going. And you can see Melissa's doing it in the chair just as easily. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you get to see that each time you lift right and left is equal to 1 repetition. So we'll bring it down, and we'll go on to Tuesdays, which Tuesdays Julie demonstrated was arm circles. So with your arms extended and just reaching out long, you begin to circle your arms. So modify as you need to. You can have it low and small, or you can gradually begin to take them bigger and wider. And then you could do 19 repetitions in one direction, and then reverse to do 19 repetitions in the other direction, and then bring it down. So today's Wednesday, and our exercise for today is hamstring curls. I'm going to give you the side view, because it's just standing a hamstring curl. Melissa's going to demonstrate. You want to sit on the front edge of your chair, stretch your legs out, and then you're going to pull the right foot back and under, and then the left. And again, the counting for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth and so on. All right, so moving right on to Thursday is what's called a cross-body reach. Arms are stretched out. So the easy version of this is simply just to sweep your arm over, stretch, and bring it back. Sweep the left over, stretch, and back. So you want to get a good stretch through the shoulder as you do this. 3, 2, again, right and left, 1, make 1 repetition. All right, so the option is to take that to a higher level where we do a torso rotation and a cross-body reach. If you have a tendency to get dizzy, you might want to keep your gaze focused straight ahead as you do this exercise. Again, it's the right, left makes 1 repetition. Let's bring it back down, and moving on now to Friday, which is the chair jumping jacks or the half jack. We had one person call who said, "What is a half jack?" Well, a half jack is simply half a jack. So I'm standing, and I'm doing the standing version. 1, 2, 3. Now Melissa's going to go 4, 5. You can see she's getting 2 in for every one I do. 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it down. All right, so there's your Monday through Friday. March in place, arm circles, hamstring curls, right? Cross-body reach, and then the half jacks or the jumping jacks. If you string those all together and do that as your exercise session on the weekend, it makes a great workout. It'll get your breath going. So I just want to say, in addition to the cardiovascular challenge calendar that you received, you should have also received an outdoor walking map and outdoor walking routes with measured distances to give you something new to try. Walking provides numerous health benefits to all of your bodily functions, as well as your mental health and well-being. With spring being in full swing right now, it's a beautiful time to walk outside. Walking outside also serves to remind us of the natural order and rhythms of life. This is very important to remember, knowing that we can depend on the certainty of the seasons, of the warmer weather, of the spring flowers blooming. Those things help to ground us, especially in these times of uncertainty. Daily activities, practices, habits like exercise, creative art, writing, or going out for a walk, those serve as anchors to help us stay calm and lessen anxiety. So I'm very thankful to each and every one of you for your social distancing. Dr. Lindsay Jernigan refers to this as a mass collaboration to protect our community as a whole. So thank you for doing your part. Next up is Vanessa.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Holy Week blessings to you all. I'm Vanessa Perry, Pastoral Care Administrator here at Westminster Canterbury. Today marks the first day of Passover. To our Jewish residents, although it may be very different this year than in the past, we wish you a very meaningful Passover this year. Pastoral Care has distributed written Passover services to you for you to use in your apartments. We hope this will enhance your Passover experience this year. A sermon for every Sunday will be aired on TV 970 tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. That again is starting at 11 a.m. on TV 970. Dr. Jim Somerville, who's a senior pastor at First Baptist Church in Richmond, will be the speaker. He will be presenting a Palm Sunday sermon called Sometimes We Get It Right, and that will be taken from Luke 19, verses 28 through 40. The Easter service, which will be led by chaplains here at Westminster Canterbury, will be aired this Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. on TV 970. That again will be at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. this Sunday on 970. The order for the service is printed in the back of the Holy Week booklets that have been distributed. If you do not receive one and would like a copy, please call David Curtis at extension 5179 by this Friday, August the 10th at 12 noon. That is, again, David's extension is 5179, and please call by 12 noon on this Friday, the 10th of April. The service will take the place of the theater performance normally scheduled for 7 p.m. on Sundays. And now a reading from John 13, verses 21 through 32. After he had said this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and testified, "Verily I tell you, one of you is going to betray me." His disciples stared at one another, at a loss to know which of them he meant. One of them, the disciples whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to him. Simon Peter motioned to his disciple and said, "Ask him which one he means." Leaning back against Jesus, he asked him, "Lord, who is it?" Jesus answered, "It is the one to whom I will give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish." Then, dipping the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot. As soon as Jesus took the bread, Satan entered into him. So Jesus told him, "What you are about to do, do quickly." But no one at the meal understood why Jesus said this to him. Since Judas had charge of the money, some thought Jesus was telling him to buy what was needed for the festival or to give something to the poor. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. When he had gone, Jesus said, "Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will glorify the Son in himself and will glorify him at once." I think it's only fitting that we say in unison the prayer that Jesus has taught his disciples. Would you join me? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.